Hey everyone, it's Sunshine here. I just want to do a video just giving some information about the birth chart and the importance of knowing the time you were born and how much of a difference it will make when reading your chart. Okay. So as you all know, this is a birth chart. This is how we construct a birth chart. And there's a lot to astrology, but the basics, each house, each 12 houses represents an area of your life. Okay. And we know your sun sign is important. Your moon sign is extremely important. And you can only know that if you know the time you were born. And your ascendant, which is your rising sign, is important. Okay. The sun sign is who you are. It's the core of your being. Okay. And your moon is your emotional instincts. It's who you were as a child. Okay. And so in this lifetime, you are learning to become your sun sign. So you're essentially going from your moon sign as a child and growing into your sun sign, hopefully. Some people don't grow into their sun sign, and you can tell that pretty quickly if they're living from their moon sign. But your ascendant is supposed to help be a bridge between the two. And knowing that ascendant will make all the difference in your chart because the planets can move. So just to give you an example, right now, if you were born on March 13, 2019 at 7:43 a.m., the sun is in the first house, very close to this ascendant. And it will color this ascendant. So this ascendant is in Pisces and the sun sign is in Pisces. So kind of, what you get is what you see is what you get. So there's no major difference with that. But this won't be a typical Pisces. You will have that Neptune there affecting that, making you more Piscean, but the sun sign will be there, which will bring a lot of Leo qualities to the personality because the ascendant sign is your personality. It's who people meet when they first meet you. It's that first impression. Believe it or not, it's not your sun sign. They don't meet that sun sign until they get comfortable with you. But in this case, this person probably will never change and there will never be a difference because the ascendant and sun sign is the same. But if I was to move this, okay, so let's say I move this to 13 a.m. The sun sign is still obviously, Pisces, but this ascendant sign is now Aries, which makes a very big difference, right? So when you first meet this person, and it has Uranus right there in the first house, close to the cusp there, so that will definitely color that. But just to stick with the basics, if you first meet this person, they will come off very Aries-like, like a leader in charge and a go-getter, an initiator, kind of impatient, quick with everything, very fiery. So you will meet that person and you will think, oh my goodness, especially if you are a Leo or Sag, or even a Gemini or Aquarius, this will be very appealing to you, right? Because you're compatible with this Aries there. Aries like to chase, so they may chase you. But when you get to know this person a little bit more and you get close and you get home, you're going to meet this Pisces. This Aries is who they are out in the world. But when they get home, they're this Pisces individual, which is a drastic difference from this Aries. Okay. And that makes a difference, especially when people are trying to hook people up. You may say, oh, I want to hook you up with one of my friends. And oh, I think you will be a great match. It's probably based off of this Aries sign or your ascendant sign, rather than your sun sign, because most people don't see that unless you're, a very personal acquaintance with that person. So that ascendant makes a huge difference. I mean, this is a conflict, who they are on the world versus who they are as a core. These two are not the most compatible. This is a very fiery sign. Pisces is water, very sensitive, You know, and then it's right now it's with Neptune, so very Piscean, imaginative, sensitive. So those will be drastically different, right? And then you have their moon sign, which is in Gemini, which is actually in a challenging connection with the sun sign, but we're not going to get into that right now. But you'll see the moon sign is in Gemini. So again, a different quality. Their emotional reaction may be to be very talkative, and you know, they want to talk about things. They may talk about any and everything, which is again maybe a little bit different than a Pisces who maybe like to retreat. So that time of birth makes a difference. And obviously it moves the planets. So earlier, the sun was in the first house. Okay. Now this sun is in the 12th house, which is a Pisces house. So the Pisces energy will be extremely strong. Okay. So that makes a difference. If we was to keep moving this, and let's say, okay, to 1:30 or 1:13 p.m., the ascendant sign changes to Cancer, which is more in line with the Pisces because they're both water signs. Okay, so this is very nurturing, very warm, caring, loving. And so you have that same water energy, you know, between those two. So again, meeting this person out in the world, it won't be a drastic difference when they get home. Okay. It won't be a drastic difference, just slightly, because, you know, Cancer is still a cardinal sign. So they're still, you know, about action, whereas Pisces is more of a mutable sign. They're not as much, you know, about action. So that it makes a difference. They're more flexible. Whereas, you know, Cancer isn't as flexible, believe it or not. So they're slightly different, but again, they're both water signs. So they are very compatible. This moon sign, however, moved to the 12th house in Gemini. The energy is still the same as far as, you know, the moon being in Gemini, being very talkative, but now it's in the 12th house. Whereas before, I believe it was in the 3rd house. I'll have to go back and check. The person with this moon in the 12th house will not be as revealing with their feelings. Okay, so that will be different versus before, where I believe in 9/13, yeah, it was in the 2nd house. So it was more about, you know, values, you know, self-worth, money. The focus was on that. The focus, you know, with the moon being in the 12th will be more inner being, you know, retreat, things like that. So, you know, this is the house of hidden things. So a lot of things about the moon will be hidden. Maybe things about the childhood will be hidden. A lot of secrets, and, you know, from the childhood, they just won't reveal themselves, reveal their feelings as much. But you'll notice the sun sign moved to the 10th house from where it was in the 12th. And so now the sun sign is going to be very career focused. So this person will be very career focused. Okay, so just giving you an example, this time of birth changes this ascendant, which essentially changes everything in your chart. So everybody that is born on the same day as you, they're born at different times, which makes their chart extremely different. This colors your personality. This ascendant, this moon sign, and your sun sign are crucial to determining, you know, who a person is deep down. Okay, so I encourage you all to get a hold of your birth certificate, the original one. They all have the time of, you know, birth on there. Some years don't, I found, especially here where I live. Some of them didn't record it in some years, like 65, 63, 61, things like that. So, but for those born, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they're going to be recorded. So I suggest you get that so we can have a little fun. And so you can learn yourself. It's very important to learn yourself, especially for relationship purposes. I always tell people, how can you be in a relationship and expect someone to love you when you don't even know how to love yourself? You don't know yourself. And I found that you really learn yourself when you get your birth chart or interpretation of it. And it's a constant learning, because I'm still learning about myself to this day, still trying to work out a lot of things. And so astrology will help you to work through that. But that was just a little tutorial, a very small snippet of a birth chart. You know, maybe another time I will go through the houses and we can talk about that. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment or contact me. Thank you.